Sometimes statistics pigeonhole people into believing what they can or cannot be in life. Our next guests saw how that power of suggestion was impacting boys of color in their Brooklyn community, and they decided to do something about it. The result, the B.R.O Experience, a wellness space where young men can learn to appreciate and communicate their emotions. Like Kelly would say, that makes these two men rad humans. Welcome the B.R.O Experience founder, Barry, and program director, Trent. Welcome, you guys. Now, Barry, you took the lead on starting this. I want to know what inspired it.
Yeah, Amber, growing up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and, living in the community that I lived in, oftentimes, either whether it was on television or even in our community, what we, as black and brown boys, we never really had the space to understand boyhood. Many people were always thrusting us into manhood, and that was just something growing up that I always questioned. I didn't like, and I felt like myself and all of my peers had to live a narrative that was not written for us. So I wanted to create a space where young men can actually thrive and have a true definition of what that was and what it meant for them, not what the system had designed for them. So when it comes to school to prison pipeline conversation, someone is telling you that by the time you take a test in the 3rd grade, they're determining how many prison beds are at Rikers Island. Or your housing development, someone is telling you that you come from an under-resourced community, so you can't learn.
Say that.
So with the B.R.O Experience, we actually help our young men rewrite that narrative.
Can I follow you around and be your amen corner? And after every sentence you say, just give you a small, that's yes, right. Yes. Trent, you were with Barry from the start, is that true?
Yeah, so this guy and I met way before the start of the organization. We met back when I was 14. I'm about to be 24 now, so almost 10 years
Oh, the baby.
It started out in Bushwick houses, that's where I'm from. I grew up and knowing very early on that it was just a lot of stagnancy within my community, a lot of just taboo energy when it came to talking about emotions and unpacking that. So that's where I found this guy and was able to actually learn that. I got the emotional tools. I learned what cognitive distortions are, which are those negative thought patterns we all have. Like, I got a chance to learn the vocabulary necessary to carry hard conversations, whether that's with my mom about moving out of the house or with my father that I haven't spoken to in years, I have everything instilled in me that allows me to navigate life as a healthy black man,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the baby. Yes, you do. I want you to explain how the B.R.O Experience works.
We work with young men from the ages of 8 to 30 in the B.R.O Experience Foundation. We got different program areas. So we have our little B.R.O Experience, we have our high school component called B.R.O X, we have the B.R.O Project, and we have a facility called the Be Well B.R.O, the B.R.O Wellness Center, where we do a lot of holistic wellness work with our young men. But we do it through the lens of what we call cognitive behavior therapy. The young men go through series of CBT group workshops and or one-to-one support. In our group work, we do a lot of cognitive behavior therapy, where we have our young men go through a cycle. And in this cycle, it's called identifying the experience, whatever that experience is. How do you feel about the experience? And then based on the behavior, what outcomes can you have? And that is where the change really happens for our young men. I think that oftentimes society is telling them what they need to be doing. What we care about is who they are.
Say that. Amen. Trent, what other tools do you lean on?
Yeah, so when it comes to just giving our guys all of the tools necessary, not only vocabulary, we give them tools like journaling. So having the ability to reflect and write down everything that you're going through and have a hardcore example right in front of your face of how your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors impacted one another and how you worked through that experience. So we do that. We also just pour into any outlet that people find themselves being into. We have guys that like music. We have guys that like to draw. So what does it look like to, when you're upset, instead of being mad and going to punch a wall or curse someone out, you go and you pour into the things that genuinely make you happy. So that's what we actively exercise with our guys. And doing that, we have, well, by the end of this year, would have serviced over 300 men of color here in New York City. We have just waiting lists. We have plethoras of young men who just are waiting and excited to be a part of the work. So yeah, we have a lot to come, yeah.
This is fantastic. I'm so proud of the work you guys are doing. And I'm gonna call you. Our next guest started with the B.R.O Experience when he was 14, and he says it helped him get through one of his toughest situations and set him on a path to success. Let's say hi to Djibril. Djibril is short for Djibrilliant. How did you get involved in the B.R.O Experience?
Well, I was 13 years old. I had an unexpected grief with the loss of my mother. She had passed about 4 years ago, and I was going through a tough time. You know, I went through bouts of depression, you know, thoughts of suicide, and it was a really hard time for me. Shortly after, I had been given an invitation to go into the library with my peers. It was like a group of students, maybe from 20 to 30. And then I met these wonderful gentlemen, Coach Barry and Coach Trent, and they had introduced an exercise called the values exercise.
Oh.
In this exercise, we had to write down people who were most dearest to us, who were like the people closest to us. Having lost my mom, I wrote down her name. Then Barry was like, throw it out. And I was like, why would I throw out something most important to me? And that's what he said. And it made me realize, and it opened my mind into how I was dealing with my grief and how much my emotional intelligence can grow.
I want to add to that, because Djibril got me looking like I had him throw his mother away. In the values exercise, but what we do is we have the young men write down 5 things that they think they value. It could be anything. And what we do is we get them to challenge the way they think when someone is telling them to do something. And oftentimes when it comes to black and brown boys in particular, I think it happens for all of us, we are put in a position that whenever we're challenged, we end up throwing away the things that we say we care about. And we don't stand on it, and we fall victim to the things that mean nothing. So in the exercise, when we had the young men do the exercise, to Jibril's point, at the end, obviously, they either pick the thing that is the most valued.
Yeah.
We challenge, throw it away. And when they conform to that, we ask them, well, who are we? What made you say that you value this thing, you hold to it, and I could just tell you to throw it away?
Say that.
Let's not conform to society. Let's create worlds where we can make our own decisions.
That's right. Now, you continued this program for years. How did it help you?
I had continued through the lens of cognitive behavioral therapy. It helped me, like I said, further my emotional intelligence, and it helped me to open my mind in a different way. Coach Trent had introduced me to different mediums as like journaling, and it helped me really see that I am able to be myself and I am able to grow personally.
Yeah.
And another medium that I really love is music.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely, you know, he always got the music taste 100%, you know, and within that, I feel like I really grew as a person.
Now, Djibril, you have something to say to Barry and Trent. Is that true?
Absolutely. Barry, thank you for the opportunity and space that you've given me over the years, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me.
Thank you, bro.
And Trent, as my mentor, make me proud every day, bro. Seeing you doing what you do just gives me inspiration for the future.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Give me that.
Now, our friend friends at Dude Wipes are committed to helping young dudes show up as their best selves. To support your work empowering young men, they're donating $5,000 to the B.R.O Experience.